They call Media Days the unofficial start to football season. Well, Alabama fans, you're in luck because the Crimson Tide were in the house. Tonight is the College Football National Championship, Alabama versus Clemson in a rematch. You run the ball a lot, but of course the quarterback position, everyone wants to know who's going to be your starting quarterback.
We'll see.
I think you're taking a page from Gus Malzahn and Chip Lindsey's book over here, not going to give us anything. The Auburn Tigers wrapped things up at Media Days, and there was a real sense of excitement and eagerness. Gus Malzahn saying he hasn't felt this way since 2013. The Florida State Seminoles held their pro day this morning. Defensive end DeMarcus Walker turning some heads. Hawks versus Wizards, and we're tied at 2 games apiece. Hawks, the nation's capital, for Game 5, but it was all ball and no politics tonight. Braves taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Braves have won 3 of their past 4 games, and they ended the Blue Jays' 5-game win streak. Can they chop on, or does the streak get chopped off? Let's go to the top of the first. 0-0, Matt Kemp up to bat for the Braves, and it's a 2 RBI single to left. Ender Inciarte and Brandon Phillips, they're going to tag team it in for 2 runs, and the Braves take the early lead. Top of the 5th, 3-2 Braves. Toronto adds 2 runs in the 4th, but Freddie Freeman is going to take some of that pressure off with that rocket to center. That ball is gone. 2-run homer for the Braves, and they take it a 3-run lead. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3 Braves. The Blue Jays are going to step up their game. Darwin Barney with the RBI single to center, and then Cabrera slams an RBI ground out to second. Jays tie it up 5-5, but not for long. Dansby Swanson coming up, he hits a solo home run to center field off Danny Barnes, and the Braves continue to rack up the runs in the 9th, getting 3 more just for safekeeping. Braves win it in Toronto tonight. Final score 9-5. Welcome back. This weekend we've got fireworks, parades, baseball, and even NASCAR to look forward to. America's favorite, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is speeding up at just the right time. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has shot to the top of the leaderboard during the final Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice at Daytona International Speedway ahead of this weekend's big race. An aerodynamic pull in a 6-car pack carried Earnhardt to a lap of 193.328 miles an hour. Earnhardt, in his final full season of competition, is a 4-time winner at the 2.5-mile track. The race is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. on NBC. Auburn's Austin Wiley is carrying on the family tradition as he's representing the country on Team USA. His mother, Vicki Orr, is a former All-American at Auburn and played for Team USA back in 1987. Wiley, a former 5-star recruit, was a standout since he stepped onto the court as an early enrollee mid-season. He'll be playing alongside fellow Tiger Chuma Okeke. Team USA begins their journey for gold tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Now let's go to the PGA Tour. Round 2 of the U.S. Senior Open. This is the 16th hole. Kenny Perry for the birdie putt. And what a putt there. Perry is at 10 under heading to the 17th. Crazy. 17th hole now. Perry going for the birdie putt again. What does he do? He sinks it. He's now 11 under on the day. He's had 8 birdies on the round. That was an 18-footer there, just perfection. His final score was a 64. Now let's go to Scott Verplank, his last hole of the day. And Verplank for birdie, and he planks it in. He finishes at 8 under total, score of 66. Kenny Perry is your leader, tied with Kirk Triplett, and Verplank is tied for 4th heading into the final round tomorrow. 2 Huntsville natives and former Lee High School teammates pitched in the same Major League Baseball game. Pretty cool. Craig Kimbrell and Buddy Boshers have known each other since they were 5 years old. The pitchers' families held a draft day get-together back in 2008 when the Atlanta Braves selected Kimbrell in the 3rd round and the Los Angeles Angels selected Boshers in the 4th round. Both are now Major League pitchers, but until this week, they never pitched in the same game. Yesterday, Boshers came out of the Minnesota bullpen, and Kimbrell came out of the Boston bullpen during the Twins-Red Sox series at Fenway Park. City baseball is going on all day tomorrow right here in the Wiregrass. They'll be playing 4 back-to-back games beginning at 9 a.m. Baseball and fireworks, America. All you need is some cornhole and you call it a day. Many people take their senses for granted, sight, smell, and sound. Not something that you have to think about very often. But what if you played varsity basketball and football and couldn't hear a thing? Take a look.
I can't hear anything. I can't hear the fans. I can't hear the coach. I got to look over at the coach to call the plays. I can't hear anything.
Meet Blaze Van Hoos, a senior at Slocum High who plays varsity basketball and football. Blaze was born with degenerative hearing loss, but doesn't let that get in the way of doing what he loves.
Because of his hearing aids are so expensive, his family has to pay for them, and they can break easily. So he can wear them around during the day, but not during activity or athletics.
A humble, hardworking student athlete who never used his hearing loss as an excuse. In fact, many of his coaches didn't even know.
His mom was the first one that told me. And she said, have you noticed anything? And
He didn't tell me that he had. It was another player told me.
the biggest thing about Blaze, when I found that out, I said, man, I would never know it. He's always, he's one of the guys that the other guys look up to.
When Blaze is on the field, he has to rely solely on hand signals, eye contact, and his instincts.
There's one time when I scored my only touchdown. Didn't even know the play, just ran around and I happened to be wide open. And the quarterback threw it to me. Touchdown.
Blaze was a team captain and a regional finalist for the prestigious Bryant Jordan Award for overcoming adversity, being recognized out of 150,000 athletes. So what's next for this trailblazer?
Well, I want to learn sign language because I think I'm going to get worse over time. It's getting worse over time, so I'm trying to learn sign language.
Blaze would be a great role model for any kid, hearing loss, or, just someone who's your standard student.
Whatever Blaze chooses to do, he's going to be great at. He's just that guy. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't want attention, and he will just do whatever you ask him to do. He is probably, I've been doing this for 14 years, and he's one of the best kids I've ever been around in my entire life.
Oh, no, I just try not to let it get in my way.
The sport of softball has come a long way since its creation in 1887. We now have professional softball. It became an Olympic sport, and the popularity for America's second favorite pastime is a big hit right here in the Wiregrass. Take a look. A muddy diamond where puddles still lay from the daily summer shower. But it's another day of practice for these fast-pitch softball players, getting in one final round before the World Series. Oh, and did I mention they're 12? Age is only a number, and these girls want to be number one. Introducing the pride of Ashford, the Alabama Ponytails, your Dixie 12U state champs, hoping to bring home the World Series title back to the Wiregrass.
This group of girls have come out and practiced. They hadn't complained. They've done everything us coaches have asked them to do, and they play hard in situations. They're a great defensive team. They hit the ball well. We've got great pitching. We're just looking forward to going back and trying to repeat what Ashford actually did in 2000. They won the World Series Ponytails.
For a little extra motivation, the team took a trip to watch hometown hero Casey Cooper play for Team USA, and the impact was well received.
Casey Cooper is a real good inspiration for me. She works her hardest and makes people feel good. And I want to be just like her.
But being a girl in athletics can be hard, especially at such a young age. Even at 12, the Ponytails are setting an example and have something to share with softball players that come behind them.
Don't let nothing hold you back from whatever you want to do. All you need is to believe in yourself and block out all the haters.
A team that's used to blocking out the noise come crunch time, down a run in the final inning of the state championship, and never batted an eye. In fact, when up to bat, they scored 3 runs and held their opponent to 1.
It seems like any time that we get our bats against the wall, they come out playing, and then they find a way to fight and go ahead. So this is a scrappy group of girls, and I wouldn't count them out of anything.
The Ponytails leave for Louisiana tomorrow in hopes to bring home that World Series title, and we wish them the best of luck here at News 18.